All right, once again, we're looking at some items from recent estate sales and auctions. Recently been an auction, state auction out in Las Vegas, and they had a pile of military stuff, and all I could see on this pack was just the brown closer there. You couldn't see the pockets, or you couldn't see the back of it, and so I think people were just under the impression it was an Alice pack. So people get confused on some of these Vietnam packs compared to Alice packs. And I just assumed it was a lightweight rucksack without being able to see the pockets or the back. And I thought, well, it's just missing the frame. So I was pleasantly surprised when I got it. And it's actually one of the tropical rucksacks. And for me, even though they don't have quite the, they're not worth quite as much as the lightweight rucksacks, they're, to me, they're much rarer. I'd say for every 3 or 4 lightweight rucksacks I'll find one tropical rucksack. And part of that is because tropical rucksacks were only produced, I think, in 1968, 1969, compared to lightweight rucksacks were produced for close to 10 years. So there are a lot fewer of these out there, but they're just not, right now, not worth quite as much as a lightweight rucksack. Lightweight rucksack with a frame may be worth $400 versus maybe $300 for a tropical rucksack like this. So that was a good surprise. Sometimes you get a good surprise, sometimes you get a bad surprise on things. That was a good surprise. And the next thing, this came from a state auction in Cincinnati, and this gentleman had been a sergeant in the 199th Light Infantry Brigade. You see his name there. It was Harold Brown, and we see that he had received his combat infantry badge, and then we see his standard shoulder insignia there for the 199th, the red catchers, which become a very desirable unit for a lot of collectors looking for items from Vietnam. And this souvenir jacket was also his, something that he brought back. And then the majority of these souvenir jackets, that at least the ones that I see, they're always children's sizes, because I think a lot of guys brought them back as souvenirs to give to their kids or nieces or nephews or whatever. So whenever you can find one of these souvenir jackets that's in an adult size, they're certainly a lot more desirable, certainly quite collectible in the vintage clothing and fashion community. And then this one here is also, a lot of times you'll find them with the linings were really quite fragile. So you'll see the linings that'll have tears in them and so forth. So this one's really in pretty good shape, and the zipper still works. So all things for people that want to wear them. Those are all things they're looking for, which makes sense. And this final thing here, you know, when it comes to like Vietnam era M65 field coats, I generally find that they either have to be in super good shape, or they got to be patched to a more desirable unit. If they aren't patched and they aren't in great shape, they just don't have much value, just not much, from whether it's fashion people or from collectors. Just nobody really wants them. But on these earlier ones, when they still had the aluminum zippers on them, this one here is from would have been from 1966, so it was still a pretty early contract. See the tag there. Whenever you see the DSA in 100 and then just got a few numbers after that, it's usually either late 65 into 1966 for the contract year. So if you ever see one of these field coats that is, some people would call them new old stock, dead stock, unissued, or near mint, they're pretty desirable to pick up. And then I think that about wraps up these few things. Just wanted to show you a couple of those things that I've found over the last week or so. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you will, if you've liked this video, be sure to check out, there's probably close to 50 videos I've put up now over the last maybe the last year and a half or 2 years, just showing all items that have come from estate sales and auctions. Always fun to see what's out there. And as I said, thanks for watching.